Hi, I'm Steve Keniston.
And I'm Samir Shah. Steve and I are both cybersecurity specialists with Dell, and we're always looking for better ways to tell the cybersecurity story.
Which changes every day, and AI is only accelerating things. It's hard to keep up.
Which is exactly why we started doing the cybersecurity tapes.
It's a totally different approach. These aren't just talking heads or white papers dealing with a single capability, but fictionalized stories designed to humanize these threats and put them into real-life context for you to learn from.
In these stories, we investigate what happened, what went wrong, and the best way to address the challenges.
Samir and I will be back to discuss how this story stacks up against the reality of the modern cybersecurity landscape.
Without further ado, roll the tape.
The incidents portrayed in this episode of the Cybersecurity Tapes are fictitious. No identification with any persons, places, companies, or products is intended or should be inferred. Our story begins in the last place anyone wants to be: stuck at the airport. The aviation industry isn't just a couple of airlines. It's a massive patchwork of interconnected private and commercial operators. It's at the center of the global supply chain. So when technology breaks down, we can lose a lot more than just our time.
This is your captain speaking. I sure wish I had better news for you folks, but how do I put this?
That doesn't sound good.
Attention all passengers aboard flight 77 out of Chicago. Okay, there's more. And also flight. Is this for real? 412 currently waiting at baggage carousel 3 and also 7. It seems there has been some issue with our baggage tracking system.
That doesn't sound good.
We are so going to be late. Did you get the passports? Maybe the flight's delayed. When was the last time you checked?
10 minutes ago. I'll check again. It feels so wrong to hope for a delayed flight, but desperate times. What is the status of my flight?
What can I help you with today?
What is the status of my flight?
You have no scheduled flights currently in your itinerary. Would you like to add one now?
Honey?
Something got seriously messed up. Please continue to wait by whichever baggage carousel you're supposed to be waiting by. We're working as fast as we can.
We're still trying to get more information up here in the cockpit, but the short version of the story is that all flights, not just Canary Air, all flights have been instructed to return to the gate and deplane.
Come on!
Now we seem to be caught in something of a bottleneck to get back there. So hang tight, sit back, relax. We at Canary Airlines are committed to our passengers' comfort and safety.
Woof.
Okay, the safety crew has given us the all clear so we can begin the boarding process. I'd like to welcome our AAA plus Platinum members to board. Welcome aboard.
Hi there. Go ahead and scan it. Here. Try again. Put it flat. Did you put it flat? Are you sure you have the right... Let me see. Sometimes these scanners just...
Chris, you can stop. It's not going to work. For any of them. Attention, passengers at gate 54. So, here's the thing. We are still gathering information. But here's what I know so far.
That doesn't sound good.
Back at Canary Air, a mid-sized commercial airline, 2 junior IT specialists get an alert. It didn't sound good, because it wasn't.
What doesn't?
It's not good. Look, a passenger reported an error in the LLM's response to a flight status question. It triggered a cyber incident alert. The chatbot's gone rogue. Wait. What? This can't be. The entire flight schedule's been wiped clean.
Which airport?
All of them. At least every airport Canary flies in and out of.
So... what do we do?
I'm really not sure. Take it offline? I was kind of hoping you would know.
Well, bad day for Henderson to be out of the office. She's heading back now, though, right?
When's her return flight? Maybe this can wait?
It's her.
It's your phone. You answer it. No speakerphone.
Ms. Henderson, how was the conference? CJ's here too, you're on speakerphone.
Get ready. There's a storm coming.
Toward the office? Are you in danger?
Not a literal storm. I'm still at the airport along with 1,000 other stranded people who are about to completely lose it. I just got word of a major cyber attack that seems to have come in through the Zephyros Connect API.
Oh, they call it FlightBrain now. Zephyros FlightBrain? They changed it when they launched the new AI toolset.
Whatever it's called, it's shutting down everything. Not just Canary either. All the airlines. Listen, I need you to do a few things there in the office. I need you to do them right now.
A cyber attack on the aviation industry can bring the whole world to a standstill. You can forget about your plans. Still stranded at the airport, Canary's director of IT stays on the phone with Jalen and CJ as they desperately try to track down the source of the system collapse.
I'm not finding anything. Do you have anything else? An extension? A file path? We segmented networks recently. Could the network we're looking for not even be connected to the main server?
It's possible. We have had a lot of new projects going on. Zephyros, right? Jump to the Z's. We need to find every bit of data that API has accessed in the last... well, I actually don't know how far back we have to go. Just... Oh, hold on. I'm getting another call. Oh, perfect. It's the CEO. Wish me luck. And find those files. I'm counting on you.
If it's true, it's wild this thing came in through Zephyros Connect.
It's FlightBrain.
Yeah, tomato, potato. It's tied into everything now, is what I'm saying. Bookings, payments, flight schedules, baggage claim, maintenance, price matching sites. We're looking for a needle in a haystack.
Found it.
Oh? Cool.
Or found something. You and Henderson both calling it Connect and not FlightBrain flipped a switch in my head. Maybe you're not the only ones who didn't get the memo. Yep, just as I suspected. Look.
What it looks like to me is that Zephyros also didn't get the memo. Even they're still calling it Connect.
No, they're not. That's their old naming convention. Look, in every other server, see? FlightBrain, FlightBrain, FlightBrain. Anything with Connect still in the file name is outdated. Or it's
what?
This could be worse than we thought.
You know, Samir, in this particular instance, it looks like everything's gone awry, right? Flight schedules, baggage claim, ticketing, and everything. So one of the things that I was thinking as I was listening to this story was the development of this particular application done with security in mind, since it's affecting everything? Meaning, did they really think about if something were to go wrong, what happens to the other systems? You know, I know hindsight is always 20/20, but I think security needs to be thought of right from the very beginning, correct?
Steve, I think you're 100% right. And I think AI is being adopted so quickly these days that security is inadvertently getting left behind. And that's a major problem, especially with something this sensitive that deals with flights and, potentially human safety. Security has to be thought of from the very, very beginning and baked in at every layer.
That's why I really appreciate the evolution that the AI factory has gone through, where they've brought security more to the forefront and talking about how to build a secure AI factory. I think that's really good. What's interesting about this, and made me start thinking and scratching my head also, is that this looks like there's an API issue. Okay, that happens, right? But then the question becomes whose fault, and I don't mean which person, but there's a vendor who supplies the software that has the APIs in it, and then there's the company, the airline, that deployed this solution. And the question really comes down to, is this a problem with the system provider and the application provider, or could this have been avoided if the airline had put it into a test environment, tested it, I'm sure they probably did, test it more thoroughly before they put it into production? There's kind of a catch-22 there.
Yeah, I think they should definitely have been doing testing. And we talk about this issue of the blame game, and I don't think that's what you're suggesting here. I think you're talking about root cause analysis, which is fundamental and very important here. Also goes back to the point that if security is baked in from the beginning at every layer, it's going to prevent problems like this from happening. But they can happen. It is important to know exactly what went wrong. And if there was some operational breakdown, for example, let's say one of the vendors didn't have strong software development lifecycle, and that caused a flaw or a vulnerability in the code. Those are all the kinds of things we have to get to the bottom of in a scenario like this. And I think it speaks to why we talk about forensic analysis so much.
What I like about what you just said is it is about people, process, and technology. And, the tech failed, and we're going to get to the why, but it's also the process, right? So probably the airline did test it. Did they test it enough? Do they have the right testing tools to test it before they put it into production? This kind of covers the whole gamut of what can happen.
Yeah, and to that point, I would just say that when companies are bringing in third parties, if you're doing an RFP or if you're vetting the vendor, you've got to ask a lot of strong, robust, security-oriented questions and really kick the tires to make sure that vendor is going to do security right to avoid an issue like this.
Every business is on its own path to AI. And Dell AI Factory with NVIDIA can provide you with the broadest portfolio, allowing you to quickly implement the AI you need, help keep your data secure, and get the flexibility to scale as you grow. So no matter what business you're in, you can keep moving forward.
The investigation deepens as our IT team discovers that sometimes the most dangerous vulnerabilities hide in plain sight.
Is that...
Miss Henderson, I think I found
the outdated API files? Word travels fast in the aviation industry.
Well, they may be more than just outdated.
Listen, it's not that I don't trust the two of you, but this situation has everything it needs to become a full-blown catastrophe. Do you remember Maria?
Who's that?
She came in to help us set up Canari's cyber resilience and incident recovery plan.
Of course. We remember her.
Good. She's on her way in. Ping me when she gets there.
So, who's Maria?
She was that cybersecurity consultant. She practically lived in this office for a few weeks last winter. She interviewed you.
Right, her. Yeah, she was great. What did you mean when you said the API files could be more than just outdated?
They could be AI hallucinations.
So, the new AI system and LLM just, made them up out of thin air?
Let's take a quick aside here. You and I heard a very interesting story at the latest Dell Technology World about what we're terming the human side of cybersecurity. And in this particular case, that particular case was really all about the stresses and the strains put on the people who are working on a cyber attack and the hours that they work and what can happen and that sort of thing. In this particular case, they're in the troubleshooting process, and someone talks about the understanding of, this is an issue where some system is calling an API and it's all about the naming and that sort of thing. But they kind of had read about this. It seems to me that there's a case where things like how up to speed is this person, this goes to more of skill sets and kind of probably maturity in the industry. How up to speed on the latest and greatest technology, the things that are happening in the world. It kind of bundles this whole human side together because they're going to eventually have to work on this problem, and for who knows how long, right? Is it hours, is it days, et cetera, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes without saying that you have to make sure the people that you're hiring are very, very good at whatever level they're expected to be at. That being said, we know how quickly this field evolves. I don't think we can ask any one person to know everything. And we talk about security as a team sport. So I would say this is a great opportunity where third-party vendors can come in. You might find that there's a vendor, and we know of vendors that focus just on identity management or just in zero trust implementation. So you bring in the right experts, you make that dream team with all the right players to achieve that outcome. And that doesn't always mean having that team internally. It does involve, I think, the role of partners.
That's a great point. Partners are so critical in a lot of security situations.
In cybersecurity, the best defense is preparation. But even the most prepared organizations can face attacks they've never seen before. Enter Maria, a cybersecurity expert, who's going to expose a threat they've never encountered before.
If that was true, if the new AI model made it all up out of thin air, that would be our best case scenario right now.
What's our worst case scenario?
Have you ever heard of slop squatting?
Okay, I'll say it. No.
It's oddly refreshing to hear someone admit when they don't know something. It can save so much time and heartache. I honestly didn't expect either of you to know. It's a relatively new term. Instead of an AI model and LLM hallucinating organically because of contradictory logic in the datasets, there's an actual person, a hacker, behind it. Someone intentionally uploading malicious files with similar names so that a given API might call it up by mistake. It's like inviting malware in through the front door.
Is that what happened here? Why didn't it trigger our security safeguard as soon as it detected malware?
Great question. We'll need to figure that out. But first things first. Hallucination or hack or both. It doesn't really affect all that much what we need to do right now.
What's that again?
Recovery.
Right.
Half of all flights are grounded right now globally, and none of ours are going to take off until we get our data, our clean data, back online. Thankfully, Canary implemented the tiered backup strategy I proposed. Have you been keeping up with that?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's great to hear. Music to my ears. Pull up the system logs. Let's find the most recent backup before any of those old Zephyros Connect files were invited into the network.
Sure thing, but which ones? On-prem and the cloud, everything's separated out into containers now. Where should I start?
If it were me, I'd pull up the new AI dashboard interface for the data protection system. That should give us an idea.
Makes perfect sense. What's that?
You're not using the new AI dashboard within the backup tool? We did a whole class on it back in January. What do I have to do to make people pay attention during those things? Work smarter, not harder, team. Here, this AI dashboard. It's a new tool built into your data protection platform, the one I strong-armed Mandy into adopting.
Who's Mandy?
Henderson?
Mandy, right. Speaking of, we were supposed to let her know when you were here. I'll text her, don't worry. Jalen, can you shoot me her number, please?
How about I text her?
The AI dashboard is built securely using the AI factory from Dell and NVIDIA. It's separate from the new AI platform that was built for the airline and isn't tied to the API that has been corrupted, causing the issues. You're totally missing out by not taking advantage of it. Watch. Just type in what you want to know about the protection of your environment, or voice commands if that's your style. It has the answers. I just asked for a full report on current backups on all of Canary's network segments.
So wait a second here. Have you, Samir, ever heard of slop squatting?
Not in a technology context. Sounds to me more like something you do when you take over a apartment you shouldn't, or something like that.
And I think Maria does a pretty good job of explaining it, but essentially, it's one of those situations where, once the attack gets into the system, right, it's almost doesn't matter how it got in there. Of course it matters how, because you're going to have to try to figure out what happened, how it happened, and block that from happening again. But once it's in there, there's only so many things that they can do. And in this particular case, they have access to messing up the flight information, so you have to get it back. So much like anything can get into a system, mess it up, and you have to get back to it. And in this particular story, the way they get back is through data protection. And how do they do that? Well, what's pretty cool is in this particular case, they have a backup solution that leverages AI to quickly go find where the problem was. And I think it's pretty interesting that they utilize that capability, an AI dashboard capability inside of their IT organization to go fight IT. It's much like you say, Samir, it's going to take AI to fight AI in the future, correct?
I'd say that's the case now. And we talk about that a lot in a lot of different contexts, but I think that you look at things like advanced threat detection, you look at bridging the talent gap, you look at natural language interaction with the system. There's just a variety of things, even zero trust. AI can help do things like data classification. It can automate some of the reporting and auditing tasks. So AI can be invaluable to cybersecurity programs and tools, but at the same time, it also creates a tremendous number of risks and ways to exploit those risks. So it's very much the double-edged sword we talk about.
I think a lot of flying today, and it's just getting worse and worse. And when technology interjects itself, and most airlines aren't technologists or technology companies, you end up with a lot of problems. And now that things like this particular system built on AI affects everything from flight schedules to baggage claim to ticketing to everything, any one of those little things can just screw up your day.
Mandy, I mean Ms. Henderson. Hello, Maria's here. Let me put you on speakerphone.
Hi, Mandy.
Maria,
I'm assuming you're still stuck at the airport.
I am indeed. And I'm hoping you can tell me for how much longer. What do you got for me?
A question. I'm looking at a log here of Canari's backups, and there's one flagged as pending admin approval. It's the backup server and dataset that needs to be protected for the new AI system. I don't think it's essential for basic operations, like getting your plane off the ground, but it does mean we won't be able to bring the AI system online accurately until we're able to find a clean set of data for the LLM of the new system. We'll have to stay offline until we're able to give it a clean bill of health or roll back to an outdated dataset. Both not ideal. Why didn't it get included with the rest of the scheduled backups?
First I'm hearing of it. How in the world were you able to get the backup logs already? Didn't you just get there? And also, narrow your search down to a single server?
Jalen's been very helpful.
And CJ.
You got a good team. That in itself might be the most essential part of cyber resilience.
It was AI dashboard, wasn't it?
Nailed it.
All right. So we're set up to recover essential operations data. What's next? Should I keep my spot at gate 14? Or should I go find a hotel for the night?
Stay put. We're gonna get you home soon.
Howdy there, folks. This is your captain speaking. Good news. We've been cleared for takeoff. We are officially a flight again. And it looks like we're the only ones heading back toward the runway. I'd say smooth sailing ahead.
If this story inspired you to think about security for your own AI development project, please reach out to your NVIDIA or Dell sales rep to ask them about the Dell AI Factory for NVIDIA and how it can help you build a secure AI solution. This episode of the Cybersecurity Tapes was produced by Dell Technologies and NVIDIA. The executive producers were Steve Keniston and Samir Shah. It was written by Steve Keniston, Samir Shah, Max Robidoux, Bradley Parrott, and Mike Wiebe. Edited by Tim Edwards and Bradley Parrott. Featuring performances from Shiloh Rose Paul, Linda Lee, Adrienne Crawford, Danu Mara, Mike Wiebe, and Angela Gomez. Sound design by Andy Slater. If you enjoyed this episode of the Cybersecurity Tapes, please like, subscribe, and leave us a review. Or visit thecybersecuritytapes.com to learn more.